Well, guys, it's a brave new world in Marvel Crisis Protocol, and Season 8 is almost upon us. The actual deadline was extended by another week because of the absolute bombshell that Atomic Mass Games dropped back end of last week. So I am in a position now where I need to get my roster done, and this is exactly what I'm going to do in this video. Hey guys, Rich from Richmond Gaming. Hope everyone is doing fantastically well, and I hope you've all had time now to reconsider your rosters. I still firmly in the camp of I really like these changes. I know a lot of people don't. I know a lot of people do. The way that I see it is nothing has been taken away from anyone, and everyone can still play whatever the hell they want in whatever game mode they want. If anything, I actually now prefer that we've got this version of the game, this extended timeline version, where you can just play anything you want. I don't think it'll be very competitive because there's some shenanigans in there that are a little bit crazy, but it does mean that we really do now know what this card pack was all about. I haven't actually opened mine yet. It's still in the cellophane, but I will be doing that at some point. So, Season 8 of TTS is pretty much upon us. Anyone that doesn't know how to register for that, by the way, head on over to the TTS Discord and just follow all of the details that are on there. There's a pinned comment, I think, in the league information. Go down to there and it'll tell you everything you need to do. There's still time to be able to do that. But let's jump over to Cerebro and we'll take a quick look at what I ran last year. Because last year, I was just looking at this earlier, I think I finished 6th overall, which I was very happy about. And this is the roster that I took. So it was a Guardians roster. We had Star-Lord, Rocket, Nebula, Groot, Gamora, Ronan, Drax, Ghost Rider, Angela, and Thanos. And then we ran the Reality and the Space Gem as well. On top of that, then, I had Deal with the Devil, Deadly Duo, We Are Groot, Lovable Misfits, Crew of the Milano, Indomitable, Daughters of Thanos, Power of the Cosmos, Field Dressing, and Medpack. And you can see those red lines through there. Cosmic Invasion, Demons, Gamma, and then Fear Grips, Alien Ship, and Research Station Attacked. I have thought long and hard about what I'm actually going to play this season, and I have decided that I am going to stick with my Guardians. Reason for that is there has been nothing released since the end of last season that has made me really want to play anything else. I haven't played or hadn't played for quite some time with being on holidays and things, and I had my final game at the TTS League deciding game between myself and James. Last minute I decided I was going to take my Guardians, and I had a lot of fun playing them, so I've decided that that is what I'm going to stick with. But I do need to create a new roster because, as you could see by that, I have lots of cards that are no longer usable in this game. So let's start off then, and let's just go here, because I think my characters for the most part are not going to change too much. But we want to start off with, obviously, Star-Lord. Never ever play Star-Lord with the Power Gem. For me, just absolutely pointless. We've got Rocket and we've got Groot, and they're really going to be the core 3 characters for the vast majority of games. We also want to take Gamora, we want to take Drax, we want to take Nebula, and we want to take Ronan. So the first change is we are going to be dropping Angela from the roster. I just have never clicked with her. Just hasn't really worked for me whatsoever. So yeah, she is getting the boot. The other character that is 100% going in there, you guys know I absolutely love him. It is, of course, Cosmic Ghost Rider. So he goes straight into the roster as well. And here is where we have a decision to make, really, because I have this core. I mean, I could say I have this core of Star-Lord, Groot and Rocket, which is 8 points, but in reality I have a core of 13 threat, which is Star-Lord, Groot and Rocket, and then basically I'm adding in Ghost Rider into the mix, giving me 13 threat. For most situations, he really is my go-to big hitter. He does so much work for me. So I then need to think about what other character or characters I want to take. And a character that I am very much considering is Black Swan. She would be going with the power gem, so it would be a big option, or a 5-threat option, rather than taking Ghost Rider. And I think she does a lot of damage, but she does things a little bit differently to Ghost Rider. And I think if I was taking her, I'd be looking at also taking advanced R&D as well, being able to get that charge off turn 1, so she still has that turn 1 impact. She's also got a push as well. But she's a little bit tankier than what Ghost Rider is. So I think she could be up for debate there. The other character I want to take a look at, and I have used him before in my roster, and he has done some work, is your boy Winter Soldier. That assault rifle can just dish out so much damage, and if he has a reroll token on him or a winging it token on him, it can be really, really nice. Hydra Tactics, let him get into position turn 1 if you've used advanced R&D, without actually having to spend any power, which can be really, really nice. And he does have that got your back, which again, being able to fire 8 dice into somebody can be really, really deadly. And he gets the bleed on a wild, and it's still their activation, so they're going to take that bleed. And if somebody does get up close and personal, then yeah, Red Fury is really, really nice. The other character that I'm really, really considering is going to be Lockjaw. He's a great battery. He's got some great placement. He's got a throw on him as well. Turn 1, he can generate power for the entire team. He can also, if he needs to, for just 2 power, get Gamora up the board much, much further than what she'd be able to get herself using her, I forget the name of it, but that Assassin Leap that she's got, or Pounce. I think it's called Assassin's Leap. So I'm really, really thinking about putting Lockjaw in there. He's also got the Interdimensional Bloodhound, where everybody rolls an extra dice. So if we do come up against a big hitter, this synergizes really, really nicely on my Lovable Misfits turn. So I think he may actually edge. Now I've gone through it all in my own head, I think he is going to edge out Winter Soldier, and he is going to go in there. But we are going to put... Did we put her in there? No, we didn't. We are going to add in Black Swan. So let's put Black Swan in there as well. And then let's make sure we get this power gem onto Black Swan. Here we go. And guys, if you've never used this before, this is Cerebro. This is what I use for all of my list building. You can see some of the rosters that I've got here. Now we need to go on to... Let's forget tactics for the moment. We need to go on to the crisis cards and our crisis selection. Cosmic Invasion auto include for me, especially with Ghost Rider. Getting that extra power early doors, really, really good. I really, really like Sword, but I'm not sure it works particularly well. Superpower Scoundrels is an absolute no-no for these guys. I think we're probably going to look at demons, because we've got Ghost Rider who is immune, and we can get rid of those tokens should we wish. And then I think we're also going to take a look. I think we're also going to go for intrusions as well. It's either intrusions or Mayor Fisk. I think we're going to go. I think we're going to stick with intrusions. I do quite like that C map on Guardians. It leads to some nice beam attacks as well potentially. So yeah, we're going to go with oh no, I pressed the wrong one. We are going to go with intrusions on there, and then we need to look at our extracts. As you can see, we no longer have Wakandan herbs, which, to be honest with you, really plays into at least my game plan in particular with Guardians of the Galaxy, because look, guys, I'm out to murder people. You guys have seen me play games now. That is how I win games, is through pure attrition. So Fear Grips is an auto include for me, and then also is Alien Ship. Now, why Alien Ship? Well, it's a single target that I need to take down, and Ghost Rider can get around the board, even if somebody as slippery as a toad even, or a black cat, or even a ghost spider who can really get around. Yeah, he's really good at chasing people down. 3 power, he's got a long move, and then he can, more often than not, do 2 attacks into them. So in the past, I had Research Station, which I really like. I really like Cube as well. And I think that's what I'm probably going to go for this time round, is the Cube. I don't mind an F map, especially with the right secure alongside it. So yeah, let's go for struggle for the Cube. Groot's a great cube holder. He can obviously heal himself. 2 power heals himself for 3. So he can really be holding 2 cubes, or even 3 cubes, sorry, and still have a positive power economy from what he gets from the cube. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to go for. And I like having the 5 objectives there. Because we're going to have plenty of characters in our team who can pick those up. So that is what we're going to go for. Now, the big one, guys, because this is where the biggest change has come. And before we do this, let's go through and take a look at every one of the cards that we can no longer use in the standard format. So you'll see here, if they're marked in red, they're no longer usable at all. And if they're in yellow, they're going to be the restricted cards. So we've got acute sensors that is no longer, I don't use the word banned, but they're no longer available. Advanced R&D is now restricted. All You've Got banned. Battle Lust banned. Bitter Rivals has gone. Blind Obsession has gone. Brace for Impact, obviously that's always been restricted. Climbing Gear has gone. Really going to hurt those Brotherhood players, those short movers who really need to get around the board. So I'm happy with that, because I have a lot of mobility in my team. Disarm has been restricted. Drop off has obviously always been banned. Extreme Conditioning is no longer available. And the big one, guys, for me here, Field Dressing. Even though I had it in my team, I rarely used this card. It was in there because I had Thanos and he was a big target, and I didn't want to lose him. But I mean, I rarely played Thanos either. Yeah, Field Dressing going is better for me because it means when I take a target out, they are gone. There is no bringing them back, which yeah, I really like. Heavy Ordnance has gone. Hired Muscle has been gone for ages. Indomitable. This is one I thought that could have been banned, but it's just gone into the restricted list. So that's nice. Not too much of an issue for me, that one. It may make it into my 10. Just because it is still a really good card, but we'll have to take a look and see what else we take with us. Medpack has gone. That's one that I am going to feel the pinch on. Medpack was very useful for keeping a Ghost Rider alive. That's typically where I was using that. I'm quite fortunate because I will be taking We Are Groot, but that is only 2 heal. May take Patch Up, I'll have to see and take a look. No Escape has gone. Patch Up obviously restricted. Reversal gone, Rocket Boots gone, Sacrifice going to the restricted cards. Again, it's not a card I took a lot. I'm glad to see it is in there. It means that the value of bodyguards has gone up significantly. And we're not going to see it around as much, I don't think. Seeing Red, it's gone. We never saw it anyway. Tactical Analysis has gone. Unearthly Rage has gone. And then lastly, and most randomly, you probably heard me and Quinn talking about this, is the Web Warriors. Web Barrier has gone as well. Now, this is around not being able to move and things like that. So that's probably the reason why. But let's start off then with some absolute standard ones that we're going to be taking. Now, not everyone likes this, but we are going to be taking Crew of the Milano. This pay power. Remove all special conditions and you can't suffer any more this round, which is really nice. And then lastly, Lovable Misfits. I don't think I've played a game with the Guardians of the Galaxy, at least a competitive game, where this card I haven't taken and I haven't included it in my squad and I haven't played this card. It can be amazing, it can be terrible. But I love it. I absolutely love it. So both of those are an auto include for me. Let's then take a look at Groot. So Groot's going to be bringing 2 cards with him. We Are Groot, which is the one that I just mentioned, which is going to be the healing card. It is absolutely amazing. And the value of this card has only just gone up, skyrocketed now because we are a healing card down. You know, we had Patch Up and we had Medpack. Medpack has gone. The value of this is huge. 3 power, guys, and every allied character within 4 remove 2, including Groot himself. So you can be getting, you know, I'm usually at least 4, sometimes 5 wide. In fact, always 5 wide. So I can be healing 10 damage with this for 2 power. Sorry, 3 power. Super, super good. And then Deadly Duo, right? This is just really, really good. So that's an auto include there as well. And then lastly, because we are taking him, Ghost Rider has got 2 cards. Highway to Hell is just a never take card for me. I really don't like it, but Deal with the Devil. Basically, you negate a KO. You could spend 4 power and take over the body of somebody else. If they're on the healthy side, they're healthy. On their injured side, they're injured. But he drops everything apart from his power, including his activation token. It's yeah, it's really, really good. So let's get rid of, let's put that one in there. And then we have 5 slots left for our tactics cards. So let's take a look then at what we want. Well, one card we definitely want to take, and it is going to use up one of our restricted slots, is absolutely Advanced R&D. This is a really, really nice card. It makes sure, you know, what I want is usually to move characters up early doors, usually a Groot or a Drax or somebody, and them to do, you know, A damage to them. That means then I get enough power on Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider can then do a Hell on Wheels. If that isn't going to happen, or just to make sure, I can do an Advanced R&D off somebody like a Lockjaw or another character. Get one onto Gamora as well, so she can do an Assassin League turn 1 as well. So there's all sorts of different shenanigans we can do with it. So that is definitely going in the list. And let's go down then and have another look really at what else we're going to be going for. Brace for Impact. I mean, it can help. It really, really can help with the survivability of Ghost Rider. He is somewhat susceptible to big throws. So that's definitely one that I'm keeping in the back of my mind. Other cards that we could be looking at. I mean, the problem now is that a lot of go-to cards, the likes of Disarm, Sacrifice, have actually gone. But one card that hasn't gone that I will be including in there is Follow Me. I'm often getting lots of power on these guys. and it's a nice way to A, dump power, but B, because you are usually a little bit wider than your opponent, it gives you the potential to be able to take priority from them after round one. So yeah, I think we're going to go. I think we're going to go with that one. Looking through these guys, and it's really weird. A lot of the cards that are like the generic cards, and I think that's what we're really seeing is these generic cards are going, and they they're leaving us with more generic, more character specific cards. No Matter the Cost is one that I could really get behind. There's a couple of characters who it would work with. Drax it would work with, or it does work with really, really well, especially on his spender, because he adds dice equal to the damage dealt. It's also not a bad thing to be able to do on Groot and get an I Am Groot off earlier doors, which has got that unlimited throw, plus it does the stagger as well. So that's one that's in contention, I think. And I'm just scrolling down just to see what else there is, and yeah, Sacrifice I'm less concerned about with. Do you know what, guys? I think what we're going to do is we are going to go back up. So let's go back here to, what did we just say then? Do we want Patch Up? Patch Up versus, do you know what, we're going to take a Patch Up. We're going to take a Patch Up. Can't use it out of activation, but Ghost Rider can keep himself alive, which is going to be really nice. We've got 2 more slots now. So let's have another little look just to make sure we've not missed anything more than anything. Not taking any of those. Yeah, so again, look at these now. Like they all need, or most of them need characters or a character specific cards now that we can take. There was one that I just mentioned and I've completely forgot what it was. No Matter the Cost. There we go. So that can go in there as well. So we've got one more slot left. Mission Objective is not a bad shout. So basically lets us hand off an objective, asset or civilian. We don't tend to be playing really for that part of the game. Marked for Death. I mean, it becomes slow, which can be really nice. Do you know what we're going to take, guys? And it's a card that rarely comes up for me that I use, but every now and then it can come in clutch. So we are going to take Daughters of Thanos. So it costs 4 power to play because it's 2 off each, but they get to make an attack, and it doesn't specify a 0 cost, so you can actually spend power to make the attack. So it means that like a Nebula can get her 6 dice attack off, or even better, Gamora can get her, it's not called Deadliest Woman in the Galaxy, I forget the name of it, but the one with the rapid strike on there. So I think we are going to take that. So that will be our 10th card. And I think, guys, that is pretty much done. So I'm just going to quickly save this. I'm going to jump over to TTS and I'm going to put it in there just so you can see all the cards together. Okay, guys, so here we go. This is going to be my Season 8 roster, and I have made one change. So don't hate on me, but I have made one change. And that change is I've actually swapped out Lockjaw, and we have gone with Heimdall instead. Heimdall can do a really, really good job for the Guardians of the Galaxy. That Guardian of the Bifrost is really, really nice. We've also got the All-Seeing Eyes, which basically means that if we want to, we can re-roll our lovable misfits role, should we so wish, if we were really desperate for that one extra point of damage or an attack or something like that. Yeah, that's who we've gone with. He also brings a little bit of control as well, because he does have a medium push and is a great back point objective holder as well. So yeah, Heimdall has gone in, but everything else has remained the same. So obviously we have got Star-Lord, we've got Ronan, we've got Rocket, we've got Nebula, we've got Groot, we've got Gamora, and we've got Drax. So every single one of the Guardians, with the exception of Angela, who, as I mentioned, just never quite clicked with her. And then Cosmic Ghost Rider, obviously. And then last but by no means least, we've got Black Swan taking that power gem with her. Okay then guys, so on to our crisis selection then, starting with the secures. We've got Cosmic Invasion. We all know that turn 1 play with Ghost Rider is really nice. Demons Downtown, it's going to really help with our attrition game. And then Intrusions open across city as seals collapse. Yeah, really like that one. It lets us get around a little bit, should we wish. It's also quite low scoring as well, and high threat, which is really what we're looking for. We've then got Alien Ship, we've got Fear Grips, and then Struggle for the Cube, and I mentioned why I'd taken each of those. So onto the tactics cards then, and we have gone with Advanced R&D, we've got Crew of the Milano, we've got Daughters of Thanos, we have Deadly Duo, got Deal with the Devil, Follow Me, Lovable Misfits, No Matter the Cost, Patch Up, and then we are Groot. So what can you expect me to play then at the various different threat levels? And the one thing that I've really found with Guardians is ultimately they don't care what they're playing at. The only thing that's a little bit tricky for me is 14 threat, but then I do tend to mix it up a little bit. So whereas my core is typically a core of these 4, so coming in at 13 threat, what I'll often do at a 1 threat more at 14 is I will drop Ghost Rider sometimes, and then mix it up. So I'll bring in Nebula and Gamora, for example. That can work really, really nicely. Depending on what the 13 threat is, that may actually be Ronan instead, if it's a sword, for example, and I want some additional control in there. Yeah, I've got a few options at 14 threat, but let's just bring these back in here. 13. So really the rule of thumb is at 15 threat, we bring in Nebula. At 16 threat, we bring in Drax the Destroyer, or again, we've got Heimdall as an option in there as well. At 17 threat, we then bring in Gamora. She's going to be making the roster 90% of the time. Ronan's really in there, only in there for some niche matchups, Criminal Syndicate, Black Order, those sorts of things. And then really once we go above then, so 18 threat is typically going to be Drax and Nebula. 19 threat is going to be Gamora and Nebula, and then 20 threat is going to be Drax and Gamora. But obviously, depending on who we come up against, we do now have the option to be able to, you know, swap out a Drax or even a Groot, should we so wish, for a Heimdall. We can swap out Gamora for Ronan, and we've also got the ability to swap out Ghost Rider for a Black Swan, if we come up against something where she's going to be particularly good. So I think we've got a nice mix there. I really like the addition of Black Swan. So Black Swan sort of taking the place of Thanos, and then Heimdall taking that place of Angela. So they're the 2 that we swapped out and the 2 that we brought in. I think are really, really strong additions to the team. And I'm really looking forward to season 8 and seeing if I can better my my last season of 6th place. So yeah, fingers crossed, and probably guys, I will be streaming most of those games live as well. So yeah, hopefully you'll be able to check some of those out. Well, there we go, guys. That is a breakdown of the roster that I am planning on using for Season 8 of the TTS League. It's going to be really interesting to see what the meta now looks like, because as I say, they have pushed it back a week for all of those changes to give people the chance to be able to redo their rosters and other such things. Can I make another top 32 would be really nice. You know, getting past the cuts would be really, really good. Top 6, I think, is going to be, or above 6 is going to be really, really difficult. Last time round, I actually lost my first game and then won the sort of next, I think, 7 or 8 games in a row. So I didn't make it easy for myself, but yeah, fingers crossed we can do better than we did last year. Guys, if you have liked this video in any way, shape or form, all I ask is that you do leave a like on the video. It really, really does help with the whole YouTube algorithm thing. And leave me a comment as well, good or bad. Let me know what you think of my Guardians roster. I have just claimed back the captain of the Milano. It sort of passed back between Quinn and myself over the weekend, but yeah, I did manage to take that back, which I was very, very happy about. Guys, if you want to support us even further, we do have our Patreon up and running, and we do have the inevitable tier, which will give you access to our monthly Patreon event where you can actually win prizes at the back end of those games as well. So if you want to support us even further, head on down to our Patreon. We've also got our Discord set up and running now as well, way over 550 people on there now, talking all things MCP, plus a whole bunch of other things on there as well. So head on over to check that out. And as always, guys, it leaves me with just enough time to say stay well, keep safe, and until next time, bye for now.